Ani can, eke kes komlos dedi, bu kangalım var. Tam hepsi.
Dear colleagues, welcome. The Center for Truth and Justice is honored to hold this press conference with the renowned legal international expert Luis Morono and USA California honored Supreme Court Judge Casyà Abgaryani. Thank you for being here. Let me set the rules from the outset. I will ask a question, I will address a question to each of our speakers, and then everyone will have the opportunity to ask a question by raising a hand. You also have the right to a follow-up question. The press conference will last till 6:10 or 6:15. Then Mr. Okampo has a very short interview with the public radio, and then he will need to head for another meeting. So, Mr. Okampo, thank you for being here. The first question to you. Within 2 weeks, we're expecting to see COP29 held in Baku. The prisoners of war, political prisoners of Armenian origin, are also held in Baku. What is your message to the advisors and decision makers of COP29?
It will 2 months, in November. There will be a meeting in Baku, and it's crucial. In November, there will be a meeting in Baku, and it is crucial that at this conference, the issue of the Armenian hostages in Baku prisons cannot ignore. I hope they are released before, but if they are still there, they should be part of the conversation. If the people in jail are ignored, and the Nagorno-Karabakh genocide is ignored, that is gone. And be clear, the next is Armenia. So, helping to free the hostage is about avoiding Nagorno-Karabakh genocide, protecting Nagorno-Karabakh, and protecting Nagorno-Karabakh is protecting Armenia. The three issues are, for us, from outside, totally connected. We understand national authorities have different roles, but we have to help all Armenians to protect the Armenian hostages, Nagorno-Karabakh, and Armenia itself. And I call them hostages and no prison of war because they are not prisoners of war. Armenia made a negotiation, and Armenia got the release of the prisoner of war when Armenia accepted the COP29. That was the way that they were releasing. Now, those in jail are not, they were not involved in any war. They were just outside leaders. And is sad, but it's similar to what happened in 1915. The first measure of the Turkish genocide in 1915 was to incarcerate Armenian leaders, to destroy the leadership. And that's what they did in Nagorno-Karabakh. And that's why what happened in Nagorno-Karabakh, that was a genocide, could not be ignored, could be in the agenda, should be part of the discussions in Baku meeting. If not, Nagorno-Karabakh will disappear.
Thank you. Judge Abgarian, the same question I would like to address to you. We have hostages in Baku prisons. COP29 will soon be held there. What is your message to the advisors and decision makers of COP29?
There's hostages in the dungeons of Azerbaijan. Prison is too good a term. The Center for Truth and Justice has been collecting evidence, testimonial evidence, that we have direct evidence that shows the type of torture that Armenians who have been in custody in Azerbaijan in the dungeons have suffered. So I can imagine what is happening to those who are still in the dungeons. It's not a message. Center for Truth and Justice has brought people to the table, as well as many others. As you know, we've had a big conference. The whole purpose is to bring the names of non-Armenians to the table that are going to be on the right side of history. And we have been writing to, the leadership of COP29 in Azerbaijan, demanding the release of the hostages, because you also have to knock on their doors. They must know what our demands are. We've also been writing to numerous members of COP29, the non-Azerbaijan leadership, and pointing out the abhorrent policies of Azerbaijan when it comes to human rights and due process. So the message is very clear, and it's one that needs to be continually done. We don't have any disillusions about the fact that we're going to be able to secure the release of the hostages. It's a political issue. We all understand that. It needs to be a part of every step of the negotiations for the peace process, regardless of whether it's being done bilaterally between two governments, or it's being done with the mediation of other governments, because we all know that other governments are also involved and have an interest in the negotiations for peace. Therefore, we work multilaterally. Countries like France, the EU, the United States, all have a role in this. And it's about making noise from every possible angle in order to make sure that, first of all, they're not forgotten. These people in the dungeons of Azerbaijan must not be forgotten by us, and then, therefore, by the international community. So that's the message.
Very clear.
Thank you. Thank you. Dear colleagues, we start to take questions from you. Yes, please. Introduce yourself, the media that you work for.
Yeah, it's working. The report on Mr. Okampo, what role do you see the Armenian diaspora playing in influencing the decisions and discussions in COP29, and what would you suggest them to do that days?
Like 2 months ago, on April 24, I was in Lebanon, I was in Germany, I was in different places, and they were discussing how to organize a campaign to free hostages. And I participate in this social media campaign which uses the same hashtag, COP29, Stop Green War Genocide, Free Armenian Hostages, and that became very successful. If you open COP29, these two hashtags are at the top. So, and it's showing how the Armenians are connected because there are Armenians for 30 different countries doing that. So you are not alone in Armenia. I was involved in different genocides in the world, and this is the first time I can see a global community working together. And that for me is fantastic. So the ability of Armenians to connect each other, because Armenians have different opinions on everything, except on protecting Armenia. So there is something very important. All the Armenians in the world want to protect you and Nagorno-Karabakh and release the prisoners, so the hostages. That's the common ground, and that's what we are doing. It's already happening. Now, we visit Armenia to understand more what is happening here. Also, tomorrow I'll have a meeting with the Catholicos, because the Catholicos wants to do also be very active. And yesterday I went to the south. I visited the border with Azerbaijan. I saw the people in the villages. So for me, it's great. Today I had a meeting with the Artsakh former leader, the leaders of Artsakh. So we are not involved in any national, local discussion, but we see this idea to protect Armenia, protect Nagorno-Karabakh, and free the hostages is a common platform, and we are doing that. And we have 2 months more to work. We are taking advantage of that. And I really feel that you have to understand, Armenians are not alone. Today I have visited with different universities also. They can do more to go to any international meeting here, how to see the people of Armenia demanding this. So we really need not to attack someone else, but to put together the energy. And it's happening. Just Abgarian was mentioning the U.S. State Department, Secretary Blinken is asking for the release of the prisoners. So we'll get them. We'll get them.
What should diaspora do?
Sorry?
What should Armenian diaspora do?
Well, at least they can join this. It's easy. In the morning you wake up, COP29, stop watching Green War Genocide, free Armenian hostages. That's it. And make any comment. I like the hashtag food. I like the look how hashtag people dance or whatever. But with the same hashtag. That's the concept.
Thank you.
Wait. It's in Armenian.
Yes.
Now, yes.
Հայտարարություններ, այսպես անգամ որոշում եղավ Մարտի դատարանի եւ հերինակավոր մասնագետներն են հանձինս ձեզ այս դեպքում իրավիճակը տեղի ունեցողը գնահատեց ինձ պաշտպանություն, ինչը կրկնեցիք այսօր եւս բայց այս հայտարարությունները գնահատականները իրավիճակ չփոխեցին, Արցախը հայաթափվեց։ Հարցս հետևյալն է, արդյոք սա չի նշանակում, որ միջազգային իրավունքը պարտվեց ուժի իրավունքին եւ մեծ քաղաքականությանը։ Եթե դա այդպես է, ապա ո՞րն է այս դեպքում միջազգային կառույցների եւ միջազգային իրավունքի դերը։ Սա մեր
Make. Did you get that? Did you understand?
Yeah, I understand the question.
Okay.
It's a good translation.
Do you want to answer this one? Because he's got another question for you.
We have 2 questions. Okay. Interesting. In my meeting with one of the Artsakh leaders, he said international law is fake. As you say me, international law is not protecting us. My answer is, it is frustrating, but it's not zero. International law is not 100, but it's not zero. Depends how we manage. And today, in a conversation I have, they give me a best example that the army, the might, is not enough. Armenia won. Armenia won the war in 1993. And now we are, but did not implement the legal solutions requested, did not define the occupied territory, did not redefine the situation in Nagorno-Karabakh, and then we are in a bad situation today. So we are paying the consequences. That's why similar happens. Law is still important. Azerbaijan has to understand, to respect the law, because if not, they will have consequences too. And before the International Court of Justice, the Azerbaijan representative recognized and gave details of the law, of the rights of the Nagorno-Karabakh people. So we need to implement that. We did nothing on that. Today I offer to the Artsakh authorities my help. We can discuss how to plan the return, how would Azerbaijan recognize as the rights of Nagorno-Karabakh people should be implemented. So, but you need a plan. We need a plan from your people. We need a plan for the Artsakh people. So that's why law is there, and it's very good and in favor. We need that to use the law to protect our rights. Look, I always remember one of the prosecutors at Nuremberg. He was 103 years old. He saw everything. And he always, when Europe requests what I should do, he gave us 3 advices. Never give up, never give up, never give up. And if Armenians know about resilience, when I visited this country, I saw massacres here, people killed here, everywhere. And you keep resisting. And no, it's not the time to give up. And you are not alone. And the fact you have the law in favor is better. It's not enough, but it's better.
You have
an answer to call. No, wait, I need. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Բայց ամեն դեպքում երկրորդ հարցս հետևյալն է, դուք հիմա նոր նախաձեռնությամբ առաջարկում եք միավորվել հայերին, COP29-ից առաջ պահանջելու Բաքվի պատանդներին, հայ պատանդների վերադարձը, սա զուտ հանրային ճնշում է, թե ճնշման մեխանիզմ է հանրային, թե կարող է նաև դա իրավական մեխանիզմ դառնալ, վերածվել, եւ ընդհանրապես որոնք են այն կոնկրետ մեխանիզմները, որոնք հայտարարությունները, ինչու՞ չէ որոշումները կարող են կոնկրետ ծավալությունների վերածել։
Well, as Judge Kaparian said, there is no independent judges in Azerbaijan, so there is no a process to follow, requesting, look, these people did nothing wrong, just release them. So there's no court to do that. There's no national court, there's no international court. So what we do, what we are planning to do is this idea to have Armenian people, not the government, Armenian people asking the Armenians around the world to request to their own country, demanding to Azerbaijan to release the hostages. So you have friends, Armenian friends in the US. They have representation. They have a Congress, and it's talking. One senator the other day advised to Aliyev to release the hostages. So it's happening today. So what we are doing is providing more representation to Armenians, not just to Armenians in Australia, asking Australia to act. Armenians in Brazil, asking Brazil to act. That's what we are doing. And that's the uniqueness of the Armenian diaspora. You have a global Armenian community, so you have people in US, in Canada, in Brazil, in France, that could help you to be represented. That's what we are doing, legally. So we are expanding the states that represent you. That's what we are doing. Because and it's as you say, it's a political process. There's no judicial process to do that. But yes, and that's why the COP29 is a test of our ability to mobilize the entire world to protect your rights.
Let me just, what I want to do is I'm going to speak in English so that I make sure my good friend here, Mr. Morono Ocampo, also understands what I'm saying. So the purpose is multiplication of voices, okay? There's a tendency to believe that the government has to do everything for the people. But the people have a voice. And the people can supplement and complement the goals. We all have the same goals. I promise you, I don't know the Armenian government closely, but the government wants its people freed as well. We all have the same goal. We want the security of Armenia. We want the security of the Artsakh people. We want the hostages freed. But what we're trying to do is multiply voices. And that's what Mr. Morono Ocampo was talking about. And I'm going to give you an example. One of the purposes of the Center for Truth and Justice, we say it over and over again, is to amplify the voices of the victims. So today, for the first time, this weekend, actually, 4 victims of atrocities committed by Azerbaijan, 3 from Artsakh, 1 from Armenia, are headed to Washington, D.C. This is a historic moment. For the first time, they're going to have an opportunity, victims, not representatives, not governments, not advocates, but victims themselves, to go meet with members of Congress and participate in the Lantos hearings, which is going to be on the 19th of September, exactly a year from the date when Azerbaijan started bombing Artsakh. These are symbolic dates. These are important memorials. We have to work on them, but we have to do it smartly, and we have to get these people's voices heard where politics takes place, where legislation can change to our benefit. So I just want to explain that there's amplification that can be done not just through Armenians, through diasporans, but then the diasporas through their relevant governments.
Yes. Okay.
I'd ask you to do it.
Yeah.
Later.
Արմենիա Թամրազյան, Հայկական երկրորդ հեռուստաալարի։
Wait.
Հայաստանն ու Ադրբեջանը պատրաստվում են խաղաղության համաձայնագիր ստորագրել, ամեն դեպքում որոշ դեպքեր արդեն հստակեցված են։ Պատանդների արկայությունը եւ այս խաղաղության համաձայնագիրը որքանով է հակասության մեջ, երբ որ կա պատանդների արկայություն, որքանով կայուն կլինի այդ խաղաղությունը եւ Հայաստանի իշխանությունների ոչ բայրացական բառամթերքը Արցախի գործող եւ պատանդարված ղեկավարների հանդեպ որքանով է դժվարացնում միջազգային ատյաններում այս հարցի լուծմանը։
The Armenian government has a responsibility and leading on the negotiations. We are not involved on that. That's not our task. But as we believe in international law, we believe no victim of genocide could be in jail. And that is not a responsibility for Armenia alone. There are 153 state parties of the Genocide Convention. They have a duty to prevent the crimes. And prevent the crime includes stop the imprisonment of these people who are there just because they are genocide victims. So that's why for us, there's a connection between the peace. I hope there will be a peace process finalized. I hope that. But this separate issue, the victim of the genocide already committed in Nagorno-Karabakh. And that is not just something that Armenia had to demand. 153 state parties had to demand. And that's what we are doing. Multiplication.
So one of the things, there's a confusion about becoming a state party to the ICC and the expectations one has, okay? By joining the ICC, it does not mean that the court system or this international system can stop crimes from happening. The purpose of the ICC is to punish those who've committed crimes. That's all it is. Okay, it's not a sword, it's a shield after the fact, perhaps, at best. However, there's another part to the ICC, and I don't know why I'm talking about the ICC, you're the expert to this, but it is also, by us joining, the 153 state parties have a responsibility to prevent there's a prevention part to why it's important for Armenia to be a part of not just the ICC, but all international institutions and mechanisms in order to support the right thing, which is stop aggressive wars, stop the killings, and stop atrocities. But I'll let you go on about this part.
No, because I missed the part of the ICC in the question.
Okay, your turn.
Thank you. No, okay. I missed your part of the ICC question. I was so on the negotiation part. Armenia joined the ICC and is now a territory party. That means that there is one Artsakh, Nagorno-Karabakh is not in Armenia, it's in Azerbaijan. Therefore, that is something that the Artsakh people have to build, how to connect, and there are ways to do it, because there is a precedent in Myanmar. Rohingya escaped from Myanmar and went to Bangladesh, which is the party. And the crime of against humanity of deportation occur in both parties. Therefore, ICC has jurisdiction. And similar could happen with Nagorno-Karabakh. But something more important happened. Judge Kásya on April 18, went to The Hague, and in representation of the Center for Truth and Justice, she presented a beautiful case showing not the crimes in Nagorno-Karabakh. She showed how an ongoing genocide is happening today in Armenia. There are some villages that were creating conditions to destroy them, and this is genocide, and it's happening today, it's happening here in Armenia. And I think, I don't know when, and if the prosecutor opened an investigation, but Aliyev knows that if he attacked here, now, he could be prosecuted by the ICC. The prosecutor already prosecuted President Putin and Prime Minister Netanyahu. Why he will not do Aliyev? So, joining ICC, Armenia has a new protection system that we'd like to strengthen, but also we'd like to see how to use it to protect the right of Nagorno-Karabakh people to go back. Okay?
Who would like to be next? Introduce yourself, please.
Armenian?
I don't know.
At the media.
Իրավաբաններ լրատվական Մարիամ Շահնազարյան Հայաստանը փետրվարին պաշտոնապես միացավ միջազգային քրեական դատարանին փետրվարի 1-ից ուժի մեջ է մտնում Հռոմի կանոնադրությունը պաշտոնական Երևանը պնդում է որ Հռոմի կանոնադրությանը միանալով ցանկանում է Ադրբեջանի պատասխանատվության ենթարկել ռազմական հանցագործությունների համար Երևանը խոսում է նաև Արցախահայերի տեղանության համար Ադրբեջանի դեմ միջազգային քրեական դատարան հայց ներկայացնելու հնարավորության մասին Կարող եք ասել նշված հույսերը ինչքանով կարող են արդանանալ, ինչ դեպք ունենա Հայաստանի համար միջազգային քրեական դատարանին միանալը։
He's basically answering the question, but it was more than that.
Yeah, I will repeat. Basically, Armenia did the maximum that Armenia can do, that is, join the ICC system, open the floor to other people to act. And ابگاریان, she decided to act. She went taking advantage that the Armenia signed the treaty. She put information in front of the prosecutor. The prosecutor has absolute discretion, 100% discretion to start investigation or not. But providing information to him is very important. And that was different people in Artsakh are planning to do. So that is happening. The ICC normally, as Judge ابگاریانی in court intervene in criminal case after the crime. Courts intervene after the crimes. So that's why the prevention part is a process. The good thing is, in the world today, Mr. Aliyev knows that he will be indicted if he attacks Armenia. He will be indicted. And that's the good thing that is happening. That's the way the ICC protect Armenia, knowing that if you attack Armenia today, you will be indicted.
Can I just... So let me just put it this way, all right? Just for a minute, let's imagine Armenia is not a member of the ICC, all right? Azerbaijan and Aliyev will feel stronger because we would not have any mechanisms. Is our joining the ICC going to stop Aliyev from committing crimes? Perhaps not, but it makes them think because we are now a part of a larger system where we can take steps to seek the punishment of those who commit atrocities. So I think there's a difference between, okay, we joined the ICC, that means no one's going to attack us and we now have a wall around Armenia is not a fact. The ICC is a legal tool, but it is...
Not little.
Huh?
Not little.
Not little, big.
It's a big.
Big. It's a big tool, it's a big legal tool, but it's not one that's going to prevent bad things from happening.
Not the only.
It's not the only one. So, I mean, ICC is not a big actual weapon, but it's a legal tool. So when people are critical about, oh, Armenia joining the ICC, what did it do to us because Artsakh fell after, all of this is, well, imagine if we're not a part of the ICC and then we're completely isolated and we don't have any tools. And the truth is having tools is not enough. Now you have to use those tools. And the reason the Center for Truth and Justice filed a communication was also to set precedent. Thousands of these communications need to be filed. Not one, not two. Nothing's going to happen by just one or two. Hundreds need to be filed, all right? So it's a process, but we at least now have that on our side.
Okay, on this we have a little disagreement.
We disagree.
If I have this here, and I can take it, go to my house, and nothing will happen to me, maybe I do it. If they tell me, look, we are watching you, we are filming you. If you take it, you will be prosecuted. I will not do it. That will happen today with Armenia. Whoever attacked people in Armenia could be prosecuted by the International Criminal Court. So whoever is planning that has to factor, oh my God, maybe I will be prosecuted. Yes, you can think, well, but I will defend myself, no one will arrest me. Well, but you will be indicted. No one wants to be indicted. So that's why the move that Armenia did to join the ICC is important. It's important. It's not the only guarantee, no, but it's very important. The lady will talk.
Hello,
Hello.
Mark DeWitch, CivilNet. This will be in English. I'm wondering, Mr. Morono, if you could speak from your experience at the ICC, do you see a political will to pursue what you're talking about? As you said, it's up to the discretion of the prosecutor. Thank you.
No, there is no political will in the ICC. ICC manage cases according to the gravity. And today, they are involved in the Ukrainian war, where 100,000 people are killed. It's pretty important. 1,000 people are killed. It's pretty important. And then they are doing the Palestinian case. The prosecutor is requesting indictment against Hamas leaders and Netanyahu himself. So they are not involved in small cases. And I work in different cases around the world, so the Venezuelans feel that the most important thing the president could do today is indict President Maduro, who is stealing the election in Venezuela. So each country is thinking in some position, but when you are the prosecutor, okay, I have 20 clients, where I go? That's why what Casyà did is very important. Having people going there, giving information, is very important. But the most important aspect of ICC is not having a case. The best we have no case, because there was no attack against Armenia, and because Nagorno-Karabakh situation was resolved, and people recovered their rights. That is the best. So the best outcome of the ICC is no case.
Do we have more questions?
ABC Media, Ani Աբգարյան։ Պարոն Օկամպոյի,
Right.
Բաքուն դիմել էր Հայաստանին, որպեսզի համատեղ հայտ ներկայացնեն Յավական Միսկի խումբը լուծարելու համար։ Ինչ է կարծում, եթե Հայաստանը համաձայնի լուծարել ԵՀԿ Մինսկի խումբը, ինչ է սպասելու Հայաստանի ապագա իշխանությանը, որոնց օրակարգում է Արցախի ժողովրդի իրավունքի իրացման հարցն ու Արցախ վերադառնալը։ Հավաքական վերադարձի մասին է խոսքը։
What you ask?
She's asking about Armenia withdrawing from the OSCE custom. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, could you repeat?
Can you repeat it? Can you do it in English?
No.
Okay, can you do it can we do it in your language again?
Բաքուն դիմել է Հայաստանին.
Wait, slowly, because...
Let's give it
yes.
Որպեսզի համատեղ հայտ ներկայացնեն ԵՀԿ Մինսկի խումբը լուծարելու համար։ Եթե Հայաստանը համաձայնվի։
Yes.
Եթե Հայաստանը համաձայնվի այդ հայտը ներկայացնել եւ լուծարել ԵՀԿ Մինսկի խումբը, ինչ է սպասվելու Հայաստանի ապագա այն իշխանությանը, որոնց օրակարգային հարցերից է լինելու Արցախի ժողովրդի ինքնորոշման իրավունքը իրացնելը եւ նրանց հավաքական վերադարձը։
Well, no. As I said before, I am not involved in any national discussions. I will not make any opinion on what the government is deciding. So I have nothing to. I cannot give you an opinion because I have no idea about the issue, and I'm not involved in any Armenian decision. So my only goal here is to be sure that there is no genocide against Armenians. And so in general, in the world, but in particular in this case, against Armenians. That's my only goal. I cannot be involved in discussions on topics that the government is deciding.
Yeah.
Don't be involved.
No. I just want to explain one thing, that the work that we do is not meant to be critical or not critical of what is happening domestically. Okay, because protection of human rights, defending atrocities, bringing cases in legal institutions is an international issue. So under no circumstances, the Center for Truth and Justice has never been involved, will never be involved, and does not promote diasporan organizations being involved in the internal discussions of policy and politics. That's for you all to do and the government to do. So there's a huge separation between what we are trying to do and the rest.
And one comment more. I was very deeply involved in Syria cases and in Venezuela cases. And in both situations, what I saw is the divisions between the victims, the division between the different opposition people. And divisions increase the power of the perpetrator. So that's why I will not be involved in any internal discussions, because I like all of you as much as possible focusing the only goal to protect Armenia. Of course you can have different points of view and it's legitimate for you to do it, but from outside our goal is to focus on the big picture, protect Armenia, respect national authority decisions, we'll never make opinions on them, well or bad, and encourage political opposition people and civil society to do their own thing, understanding the real perpetrator is not the national authorities, not Armenian. So focus on that, because I saw in Venezuela in particular, political leaders losing their mind, fighting between them, and going nowhere. So from outside, my advice is find a way to make your internal criticism without affecting the unity that Armenia needs to protect itself. Okay? So,
would you please pass the microphone?
We had to have final word first. You guys have been at the end.
Maybe Mom, can
Mi rope.
No, when they finish, when you finish, give us a chance. Armenian?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Minimum 24 news մեկ տարի առաջ ստորագրվեց Արցախի Հանրապետության լուծարման մասին հրամանագիրը, ակնհայտ է, որ այն տեղի է ունեցել առնվազն ուժի սպառնալիքի ներքո, ինձ հետաքրքիր է արդյոք հնարավոր է այդ ստորագրությունը եւ ընդհանրապես փաստաթուղթը առողջինչ համարել, կարևորելով նաեւ այն հանգամանքը, որ Հայաստանի Հանրապետության կառավարությունը ճանաչել է Արցախի ներողություն Ադրբեջանի տարածքային ամբողջականությունը ներառյալ Արցախի Հանրապետությունը։
She wants to know what exactly?
So a year ago, the president of Artsakh signed the dissolution of Artsakh, but it was done under threat of force. Right? So she's saying, does that have any legitimacy? And despite that, the Armenian government has now recognized that Artsakh is a part of Azerbaijan territorially.
Well, that's why the genocide is so important. Because genocide is a crime committed against a group of people, an ethnic group. And it's irrelevant if they were independent republic, they were oblast, or they were just a community. In Darfur, the tribes attacked were not independent institutions. They were just people living in Sudan. So the genocide happened when someone attacked an ethnic group with intent to destroy it. And destroy it means including removing. Genocide does not require killing. Genocide, there are two forms of genocide clearly committed in Nagorno-Karabakh. And maybe that's important because in Armenia, people think the only way to commit genocide is the 1915 genocide. Yes, 1915 genocide was horrific. And similar to the Holocaust, where millions of people were killed. But there are other forms of genocide that require, in fact, no killing. Genocide, Article 2C, is inflict condition to destroy the group. And that requires zero victim. Just creating the conditions is enough. And the blockade of the Lachin corridor produced exactly this type of genocide. Then, the fact that all the Armenians left Nagorno-Karabakh is exactly showing the serious mental harm requested by Article 2B of the Genocide Convention. It's obvious, there were not so many killings, but they were massive. Everyone feared and need to escape. That Genocide 2B. And that happened regarding if it's Artsakh or not Artsakh, is irrelevant. That's why genocide was committed, and it's irrelevant if the authorities are still there or relevant or not. And that's why genocide is still committed with the 22 persons of Nagorno-Karabakh in the prison. It's okay? And it's very important for Armenians to understand. You were fighting, because it's about the memory. You fight your wars twice, first in the battlefield, then in the memory. A genocide is a war between one army and people. That's why it's a very unfair war. And as you learn, in 1915, Armenians suffered the genocide, but you were good enough to be resilient and tell the story and show the story of the genocide. And in fact, here you have Ina, who is the director of a beautiful movie that you see, you have to watch. I don't understand how Armenia is not showing this movie all the day, because it's a beautiful movie showing exactly what happened. It's a movie based on a very, I don't know if you know the case of Aurora. She was a victim of genocide. She was able to escape to the US, and there was a movie about her. She became the actress of herself. Incredible story. And it's a movie about that story, showing both, showing how what happened, the suffering of the Armenian people, her family, and herself, but how they were able to explain what happened to the movie. And then you continue that, making the recognition of the 1915 genocide a very important, a crucial question. And that is protecting us, not just Armenians, protecting all of us. And now, in 2024, Armenians need to understand a genocide happened in 2023, It is happening for the 22 victims, and it could happen bigger in Armenia itself. So wake up. No more just 1915 genocide. It's an ongoing genocide still happening. We have to stop it. And that's our common job. Okay? So join COP29, stop greenwash genocide, free Armenian hostages. One click in the morning is enough. And invite your friends from US to do it, because Twitter trending are taking in consideration US. So invite your friends in US to do it, please. We can help you, but you have to be active. You are the one who can protect yourself.
Good. No, it's perfect.
Do we have more questions?
Good to go.
Yes.
My name is Levon Torres. I don't represent anybody.
Very good.
Myself, I'm from Diaspora. I see and I appreciate that you see this plan from now, the reality there's no Artsakh that are deported, to the day that there will be Artsakh and people will go back and live there. And you see a roadmap from here to there, based on the principles you mentioned, that it is a fact that they were deported, and it's in everybody's memory, if not 120,000 people's memory. Now, to implement that, what would the diaspora have to do? I'm a diaspora. Is it to make the same kinds of shows movies made, so they see that and continue? Or do we have to repeat what Kاسյա has done here in 3 days and have similar seminars and conferences? What do you see for the implementation to make this roadmap happen?
Well, thank you very much for the question. It's a complex question. I feel we need to help the Nagorno-Karabakh people to have a plan, because the leaders are in jail. They have a lot of leadership, but they have some. So today I have lunch with some of the leaders, and I was offering them, look, can we understand what your people want and how we help them to achieve that? I met Nagorno-Karabakh victims. They are highly traumatized. So we need to do program to help them to alleviate, to heal. But the fact that they know people like you are here helping them is important, because they don't feel alone. And then the right to return is clear. How to achieve it is a different matter. But there are good things. Azerbaijan authorities recognized it before the International Court of Justice, the right to return. America, Europe, all the countries recognize that. So how to implement it is a different business, but we should work on the details. That we should do. And that is more for experts and people connected with the Nagorno-Karabakh. Then, to keep people like normal people engaged, we need movies, we need Twitters, we need TikTok, we need young TikToks. That's very important, because that's a platform to connect that. So we need everything. We need the Judge Kاسյա, Աբգարյանի, doing the activity she's doing. We need to be close to those who are acting. We need to be close to the decision makers in Azerbaijan, in Europe, in the US. Example. The government is in charge of defense. We should not be involved on that. But we can help working on Israel's side. Why Israel is providing weapons to Azerbaijan? Armenian diaspora is connected with the Jewish diaspora. We can work together to explain to them, guys, what happened to you is awful, don't produce in Armenia. So we can do a lot of things from outside. Then the 21st century is a combination of states and institutions and NGOs and people. And we have the ability to how to work together. That's a difficult thing. So we are working on that. And this meeting and this visit is part of this understanding how to work together. We have a common task until November, but then even if we release the prisoners, we need to keep working to ensure the return to Nagorno-Karabakh, to protect Armenia, and it's possible to get reconciliation between Azerbaijan and Armenia. That would be great. So it's a long way ahead. It's just step by step.
Okay. I think we can. Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't have any.
No, it's okay.
We did it.
We did it. It's okay. We finished.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
All right, dear colleagues, thank you for joining us here. Hopefully you received the answers to your questions.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.